Hi everybody. So where I am in my life right now, I have noticed recently the insane amount of negativity surrounding us as young adults and teenagers in today's society. And then the more I thought about it, the more frustrated I became for many reasons, and that's really what I wanted to talk about in today's video. No, this video doesn't have a script. No, I wasn't planning on making this video, but like a lot of the videos where I just sit down and talk to you all, it does have a purpose, and I feel like it can help somebody out there. Even if it's just one person, I think that it can help somebody. So recently I've noticed the massive amount of people in my life, although I might not be close to these people, they feel the need to comment on small things about me to larger things about me, and really try and bring me down in order to bring themselves up. I mean, the more I look at it, it's like we can't acknowledge that yes, we have our own insecurities and our own personal demons, and instead of dealing with those in a healthy way and looking inside ourselves and seeing what the problem is, it's like it's so much easier to take it out on other people, so that's just what we automatically do. Because in reality, isn't it so much easier to see the fault in others than see the fault in ourselves? And this has just blown my mind recently, because where I am in my life, I'm definitely trying to be my best self and try to just really look at myself and see what there is that I can improve on, or what there is that needs a little bit of work done to it. And that's a really, really important thing for me and where I am in my life right now. And so to see people who are not just trying to bring me down, but trying to bring down those I care about most in my friends in my life, rather than looking inside themselves and kind of acknowledging that maybe there's a little piece of them that is broken, is just absolutely mind-boggling. I also don't really see the point in trying to bring down other people in order to better yourselves, because in the end, we're all beautiful and special in our own unique way, and I know that that's so ridiculously cheesy to say, but I absolutely believe it 1,000,000%. A few days ago, I had somebody who used to be a close friend of mine, but who recently has kind of had a change of personality, and I truly just believe that they're battling their own inner demons right now. They were talking to me and kind of, for lack of a better word, they were making fun of me and trying to point out things that they thought were flaws about myself, when in reality I looked at them and I realized, you know, these aren't flaws in myself, these are just things that these people are jealous of. And this just sounds so silly to me, and I don't really know how to describe it, but in my head I was thinking, you know, you're making fun of me because you're jealous of something I have, when you have all these wonderful characteristics about yourself that you just can't see because you're so stuck on bringing down other people rather than bringing yourself up. For some reason, this subject this week is just really getting to me, and I think it's because, you know, me growing up as a teenager in today's society, there are so many people constantly trying to bring one another down, and we really need to just be raising each other up and acknowledging the good in people, and acknowledging the things that we admire about them, not taking the things we admire in others and becoming jealous from that, and then instead, you know, trying to bring one another down and saying all these negative comments and negative phrases that in the end can really do damage to people. I feel very lucky in the sense that when somebody tries to insult me, or somebody tries to bring me down, or somebody just responds to me in a negative way, I have a very thick skin. It doesn't bother me. It really, I just in turn, I feel sorry for those who feel the need to try and bring me down in order to make themselves feel bigger, because that really just shows how much they're hurting. Actually in the end. But for some who may not have as strong of a personality or as thick a skin as me, you know, that can really do some damage. And I know I've said this so many times on my channel and in so many different ways, but I feel like the main point in this short video that I'm trying to make is there is no need for negativity. Everybody is beautiful and unique in their own way, and nobody is better than anybody. Nobody is on a higher pedestal than anybody. I'm not better than you. You are not better than me, because we are all equal and we're all different. I mean, it's impossible to look at, you know, me and then look at, say, my next door neighbor and try and compare, because we are two totally different human beings who will never, ever, ever be the same person. We have different looks, for starters. Our physical appearance is totally different, and then we have different characteristics and different hobbies and different strengths and different weaknesses. So why is it fair to try and make someone feel sad for having different strengths than you, because I'm sure you have the upper hand on them somehow. I don't even know if this video is making sense, but recently I've just had a lot of people, not only in my life, but I've noticed there have been people in you know, my closest friends' lives who are constantly trying to just come at us with words of hate and words of negativity, and that is just so not needed. When these people walk away from me thinking, oh, I got her, I made her feel bad today, I'm actually just feeling so sad for them, and so sad that they feel like they have to you know, knock others down in order to make themselves feel larger, because it truly does show how small and how insignificant they feel on the inside. And in today's society, I think we've grown so accustomed to hearing words of negativity and simply words of pure, like, mean and judgmental character that it's really hard to ever find the time and the place to give compliments and to give words of encouragement. So today I'm coming at you all with a little bit of a challenge, I guess we should call it. I first was gonna say suggestion, but now I'm just gonna say it's an order, it's a challenge. Any time today you see somebody who looks like they need a little pick-me-up, give them a compliment. A compliment goes such a long way. I really don't think people understand how far a compliment goes, even if the person who's receiving it may seem just to say like, oh, thanks, that's really nice, you know, thank you. I really don't think people understand how far compliments go in somebody's day. I mean, I know that sometimes the negativity does get to me, even if it's just for a split second, sometimes it does, and then when somebody else will come up to me and say, Ruby, it can be something as simple as, Ruby, I love your shirt, you look so beautiful today. That really, really does boost somebody's mood, and it makes their day, it can make their week actually. And negativity nowadays is so much easier to broadcast with the use of social media. I think social media is one of the greatest inventions in the world. It's also one of the most harmful inventions in the world, because it makes it that much easier to spread hate amongst the younger generation, and people feel stronger when they're behind a screen, so the words of hate can become even worse. And I think through all that hate, it gets really, really hard to hear the positives sometimes. So I really want to challenge you all. When you see somebody who looks like they just need a little pick-me-up, even if it looks like they're doing fine, you never know how people are feeling on the inside, just give them a compliment. Let them know, hey, you look wonderful today. Hey, you have beautiful eyes. Or, you know, there's just some like positive, radiant energy about you, and I just wanted to say that I hope you're having a wonderful day. You know, give a positive thought, because the negativity is never gonna end until little by little and one by one we all stop you know, using the negative words in our vocabulary, because, you know, sometimes they almost come a little too easy. But the negative, for lack of a better word, negative vibes are never gonna go away until one by one we all start being more positive and spreading those words of positivity, light, and love. And I feel like I'm preaching what everybody else does, and yet there is still just this overbearing negative energy that people in this younger generation place on their fellow peers and their fellow friends, people who they say you know, they're friends with. I will see people then go and just talk about them behind their backs, and it just drives me crazy. And I'm not saying you have to like everybody, because let me tell you, that would be impossible. There are definitely people in my life who I am not fond of in the slightest, but you still have to be cordial to them. You have to be kind to them, because you never know what's going on in their lives. You never know what their inner demons are. You never know, they might have had, you know, the worst night ever, and they're contemplating, you know, whether or not to take their life, you know, today. You never know what's going on with people. And so the most important thing to remember is you don't have to like everybody, but you certainly do have to be kind to everybody. There is absolutely no need for negativity. And yes, we all have our bad days, and we say things that we don't, that we regret later. But the important thing to do in that situation is to just also apologize. I think that that's a big thing, and it takes a lot of courage too. To apologize, and not enough people like realize that, I don't think. I don't really know what the whole point of this video was, other than I really just wanted to talk about the negativity that I've seen recently in like fellow, you know, teenagers and young adults, just using these words of hate and trying to bring, you know, the like people who are the same age as them down. in order to make themselves feel larger. That just absolutely blows my mind. Instead of taking the strength that you see in somebody and gathering jealousy from it, and then trying to turn it into something that that person is then ashamed of instead of proud of, you know, acknowledge that strength in them. And notice that maybe you want to work on that same thing. I don't even know if that makes any sense, but I think you guys understand what I mean. Take the time to use those positive words every day, because the negative ones are so easy to reach. And they're so easy to use. But so many people just overlook spreading like that positivity every day, and I think that that's something so important to do, especially like where I am in my life. You know, junior year, it's one of the most stressful years a high schooler could have. You know, you have colleges and ACTs and everything like that, and hard advanced classes, and then on top of that you have to worry about the everyday, you know, the everyday like struggles of you know, encountering just like these negative words from people who either you thought were your friends, or people who you barely know at all, who don't have the right to judge you in the slightest. And that can be really detrimental for somebody my age. So I just want to challenge you all to really watch what you say. I think that's the biggest point I can make in this video, and that's the biggest point that has been bothering me recently, is people just do not watch what they say anymore. With how easy it is to, you know, type something out and post it to Twitter or Tumblr or Instagram or Facebook or whatever, people just do not watch what they say anymore, and they have no filter. Even in real life recently, I've noticed that people who are my age or a little bit older, a little bit younger, just find it so much easier for some reason recently to just come at people with words of hate and say the nastiest things to their faces. And I will just never understand that, because mean is such a foreign concept to me, and we shouldn't be taking the time to think of like, you know, things to say that will break somebody down. We should be taking the time to acknowledge, like, you know, the positives in everybody and the good in everybody. I hope that you all enjoyed this video, and if you all take anything from it, it's just to watch what you say and use your words for the better, because the words that we possess are the most powerful tool in our personal tool belt, if that makes any sense at all. I truly think that words are the most powerful thing in the world. And so for anybody who's watching it, no matter what age you are, but especially if you're my age, a little bit younger, a little bit older, if you're in this, you know, teenage generation, spread positivity. It's so much better, and it does so much good. And there's just no need for hate. It's unnecessary. It really is. But I love you all so incredibly much. Thank you if you stuck around for this entire video. Thanks for sticking with me and listening to this ramble. I really hope it helped though, and I love you all so much. Bye guys.